Welcome back to Learn German in 32 Hours with John Berlin. In the last lesson, we had understood what are the cases, how to use them, what are the questions related to the cases. Today, we'll be using those cases to learn our first grammar tables for the personal pronoun. Yes, as you can see, the table has been divided under nominative, accusative, and dative with their respective questions. Before we get started to learn the table, let me show you what personal pronouns means. Like in English, we can see it right here. It is written in first, second, third person singular, like you say I, you, it, and then first, second, third person plural. All of them become plural. I becomes we, you becomes you all, and he, she, it becomes they. Yeah? Perfect. We'll be doing all of them in German. And when we talk about the direct object, it becomes in English like me, you, him, her, it, us, you, all, them. We'll be doing that in German as well. And then, of course, we come to the indirect object. Now, in English, they do not exist in form of a pronoun. They are written with the help of two words, one preposition and another pronoun. It's not just one pronoun, it's two words. But in German, we will learn that we have a new pronoun, which would be taking place for these indirect objects. That means to me and for me, yes, would become one pronoun in German. To you, for you, to him, to her, to it, for him, for her, for it, to us, for us, to you all, for you all, to them, for them. These all would become personal pronouns, indirect object in German, right? So to learn them, let's go up and have a look at them. So to learn these personal pronouns, like you can see here, we would begin by first trying to recall the questions related to the cases. Now, we had learned earlier nominative is the subject. It's a person who does an action, or it's a thing what does an action. Accusative is a direct object. It's a person whom the action happens, or a thing what receives action. And we had learned dative is always a person, never a thing. It's a person to whom you give something, or it's a person for whom you do something. Perfect. Now, to understand the personal pronoun table and to learn it, I have a fun sentence for you. I'll write the sentence and you help me find out the personal pronouns. Okay. I am a good person. You invite me and you bake for me a cake. So the words I'm highlighting you need to find in German, okay? I, me, and for me. We'll be looking for these words in German. So beginning with I'm a good person. So the question is, who is a good person? The answer is I. In German, ich. That makes it nominative. Perfect. Then moving forward, you invite me. Whom do you invite? The answer is me. In German, mich. Accusative. You bake for me a cake. For whom do you bake a cake? For me. In German, mir is dative. Yes? So I, me, and for me in German looks like ich, mich, mir. Please note, I and me exists in English like a pronoun as well as in German, ich and mich. But in English, you see for me does not exist in form of a pronoun. In German, it exists in form of a pronoun, mir. Now, mir could be interpreted like for me. In other instances, if the sentence demands, we can also understand it like to me. So, mir has two meanings. It could be understood like to me, it could be understood like for me. In this case, we are using mir as for me. Yes? So in English, you would write for me. In German, you would just write mir, which would be understood like perfect. So that's the one big difference, English and German. Moving forward. Now, you are a good person. I invite you and I bake for you a cake. Once again, let's highlight the words we are looking for. I as a subject, I as a direct object, and for you. Yes, underline them. So you are a good person. The question is, who is a good person? The answer is you. In German, du. So it basically is nominative. I invite you. The question is, whom do I invite? The answer is you. In German, dich. It becomes Akkusativ. I bake for you a cake. The question is, for whom do I bake a cake? The answer is for you in German, dir. So for you is also Dativ. Please note, now in English, you as a subject and you as a direct object looks the same. In German, you as a subject looks du as a direct object. It looks like this. Yeah, perfect. Now moving forward, he is a good, let's call him a neighbor. I invite him and I bake for him a cake. Perfect. Now, the question is, who is a good neighbor? Yes, the answer is he in German, er. So, he is nominative. I invite him. Whom do I invite? Him. In German, ihn. So, this is accusative. I bake for him a cake. For whom do I bake a cake? The answer is for him. In German, we simply say ihm. So, ihm is dative. We can do it for feminine as well. Let's just use the same sentence. She is a good neighbor. And instead of him, I could say I am her. And instead of saying I bake for him, I could say I bake for her a cake. So let's see. Who is a good neighbor? Once again, she. In German, sie. So it's again nominative. I invite her. Whom do I invite? Her in German, sie. So once again, accusative. And I bake for her a cake. Question is, for whom do I bake a cake? The answer is for her in German, ihr. Ihr is dative. Now please note, just like in English, you had seen you as a subject and you as a direct object look the same. Something similar is happening in German. She as a subject is sie and her as a direct object is also sie in German, like you can see here. Yeah? So sometimes the subjects and direct objects could look the same. Perfect. Okay. Now, what is S? I'll make a sentence for you. Okay, let's write it here. It is a good child. I invite it and I bake for it a cake. Yes, in this case, who is a good child? The answer is it. In German, S. Dative. Good, let's write dative. Okay, and I invite it. Whom do I invite? The answer is it in German, S. Once again, it looks the same. So, accusative. I bake for it a cake. For whom do I bake a cake? The answer is for it in German, ihm. Yes, so ihm is dative. Now, as you can see, in German, for him is ihm and for it is ihm. They both look the same. Yes, no worries. Perfect. So up till now, we have done the first, second, and third person in singular, and we have looked at this table horizontally. Ich, mich, mir, du, dich, dir, er, sias, ihn, sias, and ihm, ihr, ihm. A couple of things we have learned. Sometimes the subject and direct objects can look the same, no problem. Yes, like we had seen, sie is she and sie is also her. Perfect. So that's one thing we learned. And let me tell you a little more about dative. Now, in dative, we had learned the questions are to whom and for whom. So the meaning of mir could be to me and for me. We have used the for me version here. Yeah, we have used it as for me. And there could be to you, for you. We have used it like for you. And ihm, ihr, ihm being for him. Yes, yeah, for him. Yes, and for her is ihr, and for it is ihm. Again, so very quickly, let me show you the sentence which I had written. I bake for him a cake. Now here I had written I bake for him. In German, let me write it for you. It looks like this. Ich backe ihm einen Kuchen. Now, the thing is, we had learnt what is for him. For him, we had learnt is ihm. Very rightly, like I have written ihm. Now, we could also write the sentence like we write it in English. Ich backe, and I'll not use the pronoun from Dativ, I'll make it like we write it in English, for and him. So what is for in German? It's für. And für, just to tell you as a trivia, is accusative. So in German, prepositions are also having their own cases. So for is accusative. So accusative would be Ian. So I'll write here, Ian einen Kuchen. So this is more like an English translation. I bake for him a cake. Yeah. So both of these sentences, ich backe ihm einen Kuchen or ich backe für ihn einen Kuchen, kind of mean the same thing. I bake for him a cake. But there is a meaning change in both these sentences. They don't mean the same. For example, whenever you say for him, the emphasis is given on for. Yeah, you're doing something for someone. And when you're doing something for someone, it could mean you're doing it in return of money, or you're doing it as a favor, or you're doing it in place of them. Yes. So that is the meaning which comes out. For example, I do something for him because he has given me money, or he has asked me for favor, or I'm just doing something which he had to do. I'm doing it in place of him. Yes, that could be the meaning in this sentence. But the sentence here, ich backe ihm, the question is simple, for whom? The answer is for him. Simply means I'm doing something for him out of my own wish. Maybe it's his birthday, I'm making for him a cake. Yes. So that's as simple as that. So in German, we prefer to use Dativ, this new pronoun, this new column of pronoun, until and unless you want to use for, which is, like I explained, the meaning changes. You're doing something in return of something, or you're doing something in place of something, right? Perfect. So we rather stick to the German way of saying it. We rather not fall into the English way until and unless situation. Perfect. So now we'll move forward, and we have completed the singular portions. Let's go to the plural portions. We'll repeat first, second, third in plural. So let's say we are good people, and you invite us, and you bake for us a cake. Yeah, perfect. So who are good people? We in German, wir. So wir is nominative. Yes, we are looking for the words we, us, and for us. Yeah? Okay. Moving forward, you invite us. Whom do you invite? The answer is us in German. Uns. Uns is accusative. You bake for us a cake. So the question is, for whom do you bake a cake? The answer is for us in German as well. It looks the same. Uns. So it is that. Yeah. Please note, uns is both interpreted like us. It can also be interpreted like dative, like for us or to us. Here we have used for us. Yes, perfect. Now in the same sentence where I have written you bake for us a cake, if I wouldn't have said uns and I would have said für uns, as I had explained earlier, the meaning of the sentence would have changed. That would have meant in return of money, as a favor, or in place of you. So we don't want to say für uns. We would rather go for uns because I'm treating you as a guest. Perfect. I would simply say uns. All right. Now moving forward, very important pronoun, talking about you all are good neighbors. I invite you all, and I bake for you all a cake. Now please note, let me bring this all to the next page. Okay, let's come down. And let's talk about the sentence. Now in English, when you say you all, it's pretty literal, you and all. Yes. In German, you can't really go and say du alle, that doesn't mean anything. In German, if you want to say you all, there is a brand new pronoun and it looks like ihr. Yes. So the question is, who are good neighbors? The answer is you all in German is ihr. It's nominative. So we are looking for you all as a subject, you all as a direct object, and for you all, indirect object. Yes. I invite you all. Whom do I invite? The answer is you all. In German, I call it euch. Yes. So, euch is Accusativ. And I bake for you all a cake. Question is, for whom do I bake a cake? The answer is for you all. So, in German, we again use euch. Euch could be used both for Accusativ and Dativ, right? Okay. Now moving forward, let's come to third person. They are good people, or let's call them neighbors. I invite them and I bake for them a cake. Yes. So let's get started. We are looking for they, we are looking for them, and we are looking for them. These are the pronouns we are looking for. Underline them. Okay. This one. All right. So we begin with they, and then we'll go to them. Okay. So who are good neighbors? They are good neighbors. In German, sie. Yeah. They is like sie. It's Nominat. Yes. And I invite them. So whom do I invite? Them. In German, sie. Please note, in German, they is sie and them is also sie. Subject and the direct object looks the same. No problem. Okay. So them would be accusative and I bake for them a cake. The question is, for whom do I bake a cake? Yes, the answer is for them. In German, we call it ihnen. So ihnen is atif. Perfect. Now the last sentence. Now the same sentence we had made earlier for du, we could repeat. For example, we could again go up and talk about you are a good person. I invite you and I bake for you a cake. Now in this sense, I had earlier spoken in informal way. By default, do is informal. Now you want to make it formal. Let's make it even more reasonable. You are a good, let's say you're a good boss, talking to the boss, so you might be more formal. So you would not say do, you would say something like second person formal, which is like written here in the last row. Let me show. There you go. See, so we are looking for you formal, you as a direct object formal, and for you formal, right? Let's underline it. So who is a good boss? You. We would not say do, we would rather say sie. Please note the S is capital. Yeah. All the first letters in formal, second person are capital. So you are a good boss. So who is a good boss? You in German. Sie. Basically. Atif. I bake for you, I invite you, sorry. So whom do I invite? I can't say this, I'm being formal. Again, I say sie. Yeah, it looks the same. No problem. So this is Atif. I bake for you a cake. For whom do I bake a cake? For you. Yes, I can't say dia, it'll be informal. I'll say ihnen. So you can see the third person plural and second person formal look the same, except second person formal have a capital first letter. Yes. Okay, now let's replace the pronouns we have learnt in these sentences and let's recall if we can do it via memory. So it's a little too early to do it with memory, but let's just try. So what is I we had learnt? I is ish. What is me we had learnt? Me is mish. What is for me we had learnt? For me is mia. Perfect. Right here. Mia. Perfect. What is you as the subject? Du. Let's write du. What is you as a direct object? In German, it's dich. Dich. Okay. Perfect. All right. I bake for you a cake. What is for you in German? Dir. Right? Dir. Perfect. Okay. Now you help me with the next ones. Okay. This. I can. All right. So we write dir. Now moving forward. What is he? As you can see, it is er. So let's write er. What is him? Who? Yes, can you find out? It's Ian, right? I bake for her, I bake for him a cake. What is for him? Can you look at the table and tell me? It is ihm. Perfect. So ich bake ihm einen Kuchen. Perfect. What is she? Can you look at the table and tell me? It is sie. Let's write sie. I invite her. What is her? Again, sie. Yes, just like in English, you and you could look the same as subject and direct object. In German, she and her looks the same like sie and sie. What is her? Her is sie. Perfect. I bake for her a cake. What is for her? Ihr. Right? Ihr. Fantastic. Yeah. Then we had done it for the neutral version. It is a good child. What is it? Can you look and tell? Yes. S. Perfect. And then I invite it once again. Whom do I invite? It again looks like S. S. And I bake for it a cake. What is for it? For whom? For it is like ihm. Right here. Ihm. Perfect. Now moving forward, we come down and we look again at the table. All right. Now, we are good people. What is we had learnt? As you can see below. Space. Okay. Perfect. Better now. Okay. This. Right. So, we in German is, you can look at the table and tell me. Yes. Wir. Perfect. That's right. Wir. Okay. So I'll try to write wir. And if I can. Okay. Wir. Then forward, let's come down a bit. You invite us. What is us? Can you tell me? Und. You bake for us. What is for us? Und. Perfect. You all are good neighbors. What is you all? Look at the table. It is ihr. Perfect. That's right. Ihr. Okay. How do I write ihr? Let's see if I can. Finger. Okay. Yeah. Right. Back. Ihr, which is you all. I invite you all, which is what? Euch. You all as a direct object. Euch. So instead of you all, we write here. Euch. I bake for you all a cake. For whom? For you all. Now, euch can also be used as dative. So, yeah. Euch. Moving forward, they are good neighbors. Who are good neighbors? They. Sie. Yeah. Sie. I invite them. Whom do I invite? Sie. Sie in German as a subject and direct object looks the same. Don't worry. Invite them. So sie. I bake for them a cake. For whom do I bake a cake for them in German? Ihnen. Right? Perfect. And in the end, we had written the second person formal. You are a good boss. We couldn't say du because it was formal, so we said sie. Remember, the S is capital. I invite you. Again, you can't say whom do I invite this. That is wrong. Talking formally, so it's again sie. And I bake for you a cake. For whom do I bake a cake? For you. Like ihnen with capital I. Yes. So the second person formal is actually the carbon copy of third person plural, except first letters are capital. Perfect. So this was our table. Ich, mich, mir, du, dich, dir, er, sie, es, ihn, sie, es, ihm, ihr. ihm, wir, uns, ihr, euch, and sie, ihnen, with the extra pronoun for second person formal, sie, ihnen. Perfect. So I would like you to kind of draw this table by yourself and learn it horizontally instead of vertically. Ich, mich, mir. Yes? So thanks for joining me in today's lesson. In the next lesson, we'll practice these pronouns with the help of a few sentences. We'll try to find out where is the subject, where is the object, and how to write it in German. Perfect. See you in the next lesson.